Hey guys, Sandy here. I wanted to take a moment to show you how to make some pretty cool shakers with the Heidi Swapp Wolf Pack collection. Now these are the stickers with the rub-ons that go over top of them. And I do want to mention that this is not my original idea. One of my good friends, Christina Sorge, had this idea and I just was like, yes, I love it. I'm going to do it. So here's what I did. Now I measured my stickers. They are 2 inches. So I'm cutting out this white piece of cardstock to 2¼ inches. And then I'm going to take my sticker, and I changed my mind at the last moment of which sticker that I was going to use, and I just centered that on so it has like a 1/8 of an inch border all the way around it. Now I have some acetate here, and I'm cutting this down to 2¼ inches as well. And then you can just see, yep, it fits over it perfectly. So now I've got to actually make the shaker. So, you know, when you make a shaker, you have a top. Well, the top can't be just this acetate here. So I decided to make the top this piece of paper here with the constellations. Now I cut that down to a 2¼ inch square as well. Now this, I probably made it a little bit more difficult than it needed to be. I probably just could have marked in 1/8 of an inch and drew a line, but I didn't. I decided to use my trimmer instead. So I put my paper down, and at first I was just going to use the ruler, and then I was like, oh, maybe I can indent it a little bit, and then I said, nope, I'm just going to use my pencil. So I used my trimmer edge right here, you know, where your blade goes in down underneath, just to use it to mark as a straight line. And then I was like, well, you know, I'm just going to have to trim it on the line. And then I got the bright idea, why aren't you using a knife to do this? So I pulled out my pen blade and I used this little old Making Memories setting mat just when I need a little quick something to cut on. Because I don't want to, of course, not cut on my pink mat that I use because I work on that. So I went ahead and popped that out, and there it is. And I'm just testing it out just to make sure everything fits, and it does. It's always a good thing when things fit, people. Now I'm using my ATG to adhere my acetate piece to the background. And the only thing I did was made sure that my ATG kind of ran off the page, like off of that acetate a little bit, because I knew that the width of the ATG was the exact width of the paper around it, and I just didn't want to have to deal with getting the glue of the ATG off of the acetate. So it's much easier to just rub it off your craft mat than it is to pull it off of that acetate. So I've got that there. And again, I'm just dry fitting it, testing it out, making sure it looks good. And then I'm trying to figure out if wild at heart is the sentiment I do want to use. And of course it is. It fits beautifully right there, which makes me really happy. Now I'm just using a Creative Memories multi-purpose tool to put this down. You can use a popsicle stick, you can use a bone folder, whatever you have, just make sure you rub it off really well. And then what I like to do with rub-ons is to peel one side up slowly and go all the way across to the other side and just pushing down a little bit more if there's a little bit of rub-on that didn't come completely off onto your page. So this is some foam tape. Now this is super skinny foam tape, and it works out amazingly perfect to get it to fit right where I need it to. Now I got this in a card class. I'm not exactly sure what brand it is. It says Sticks something on the actual tape, but like I said, I'm not sure where it came from, and it might have even come from across the pond because I took the lovely card class from Laura Gallimore, and she is located in the UK, so I'm not sure. But if you know where you can get super skinny foam tape like this, like by all means, leave a comment down below. Or you can, of course, use regular foam tape and just trim it down with some non-stick scissors like I am doing right here. Now I decided to go ahead and double up the foam tape, and that's because I want to put like a good amount of sequins in this thing. And I also want them to shake a little bit on my page, so I decided that I needed to double up that foam tape. So I'm just making sure that there are no gaps around any of that foam tape, and I peel off the top layer, and then I am able to put the second layer on top of it because it sticks really well to itself. And I'm just going to go ahead and do that all the way around the page, and I am being super careful to line it up as best as I possibly can because I really don't want the foam tape being visible from like looking outside of the shaker pocket. So I'm testing it out here, making sure that it looks great and the lineup is good enough. Now I was thinking I was going to add a little bit extra to the top of this. I thought I might have needed to bring in this green color, and that was just because of I brought in this brighter green on my layout. So I was thinking about giving it a little bit extra around there, like a little extra border, and then cutting it out the same way that I like gutting it, basically like you would gut a paper, and then putting that on my shaker pocket as well. But I decided not to, and that's just because of the way it would have been visible on my layout. Like the green was going to be piled up on the green, and I definitely want it like I didn't want the green on top of the green, which is what was going to happen if I would have done that. But I think it would have looked cool with that extra layer on it, just not for this particular layout because I didn't want the green on top of the green. Okay, so now I am putting my adhesive on the top part of my shaker pocket, just so that I will have it ready to go once I put my sequins in. Now this sequin mix is an exclusive mix for the Secret Not Secret Kit Club. It was put together by Jody of Spiegel Mom Scraps. She is amazing. Her sequin mixes are like absolutely gorgeous, you guys. So if you need some sequins, you need to head over to her website, and I'll drop that in the comments below as well. And I'm just pulling out a bunch of the sequins, and I am making sure that I get plenty of those light green ones that are in that mix, just because of the green, like the brighter green that I pulled into this layout that is not from the collection. So then I am placing that down, and then there is my sticker shaker pocket, you guys. Isn't that cool? So thanks so much for watching. The full layout is going to be another video, and I will see you guys again real soon.